The Top Boy Season 3, well, Season 5 trailer has just been released, and it's safe to say that this final chapter looks like it's going to be one where everything is on the line. Following the shocking end to Season 4 with what happened to Jamie, there were moments in this trailer that surprised me a lot. With it being the end of the line, I think this season is going to be big, and it's going to contain some moments that surprise us all. So with that, let's break down and explain the trailer for this final season. So let's get into it. Here is Top Boy Season 5 trailer explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The trailer opened up as it finished, with us seeing a single shot of Dushane's head. At the start, it opened with the back of his head looking out of what looked like the window of his luxury apartment. I think this is symbolic of the fact that this season is going to be very focused around him and his moral compass when it comes to dealing with Sully and the loose cannon attitude that he has. Sully did start to get himself together in Season 4, but at the end of Season 4 he was starting to mirror how he was in the Summer House series, and with what he did to Jamie, Dushane knows that something bad is most likely going to come. It's essentially going to divide Summer House like it did back in Season 3 of the show. Something else which supports this is the fact that as the camera zoomed into the back of Dushane's head, Sully was the first thing that we saw in transition, as he uttered the line that we've heard him say before, "So how do you think we survived all this time?" followed by a shot of Jamie, showing that the actions at the end of Season 4 are going to have lasting effects and tie into this season with the overarching plot. We were also greeted with Chantel from Summer House and also Ronell and Kayla in flashback shots. It would be pretty good if there was a way for them to return, especially with it being the final season, but I guess we'll just have to hold out and hope for that. After this, we were back in the timeline of the new season, and it seemed as though Dushane was round his mother's house, clearing out some of the belongings that were there following her death. Within the box that he was looking in, there was a photo of himself and Sully which he was looking down at in a reflective state, most likely due to the trouble that he causes him. And there was also another photo that was in there, one of his cousin Donovan, who was killed a couple of seasons back because of the mess that Dushane got himself caught up in. Plus, there was also a plaque which looked as though it had two storks on. Two storks are said to symbolize a good business partnership, which is something that Dushane and Sully have always had. But with it being in the box of memories from the past, maybe that means that things are about to change. This also ties into the next line that we heard in the trailer where Sully and Dushane were sitting in the cafe, and Sully said, "We are linked." This could be in reference to what Sully did to Jamie, as if to say, don't do anything stupid because it will most likely get pinned on Dushane as well. Or it could be about the next job that they were about to do. The next shot that we had was of the Summer House crew looking like they were getting prepared for a big job. Dushane, Sully and Jax were all strapping up and getting ready to embark on what I imagine is some kind of home invasion. This is judging by the road that Jax was walking down. The shot that followed this contains Sully walking in an empty park alone with his hood up. To me, this scene is symbolic of the vulnerability that's going to be linked to Sully in this season. The sheer space and emptiness that was around him made him look vulnerable and like a target, almost as if there was no one there for him. There was a line that was spoken over the top of this scene by Cy to Stefan where he said, "One day that brother's gonna get what's coming to him." With Stefan nodding, it showed us that they're definitely going to be going after Sully for what he did to his brother. After this, there was then a shot of all of the people around Reef House chanting "let him out" whilst the police looked as though they were keeping somebody detained. However, it looks as though it's going to kick off as retaliation was present shortly afterwards. The next shot that we had was of Barry Keoghan making his first appearance in the show. My guess is that he's going to be in some rival gang that has moved in on the area. With the line "that's a problem" being spoken over the top of the scene with Sully looking at him, I think that further supports the fact that there's going to be a rivalry that's going to be present. There were then a quick succession of shots that occurred. One was of what looked like the home invasion that Sully, Dushane and Jax were getting prepared for earlier. It seems as though there's going to be a birthday party that's going to be going on, so the contrast in reaction and what's actually unfolding is probably going to be uncomfortable to watch. Then we had Cy saying, "You ready to squeeze off on the man?" This is most probably being spoken to Stefan, as he may be pushing for Stefan to retaliate. However, shortly afterwards it looked as though Cy was getting hit by Sully, so that may prove to be unsuccessful. This was also paired with a scene of Dushane throwing somebody to the ground. He had his face covered at this point, so it could be from what was mentioned earlier where he's in the house. One of the most important lines that was spoken in the trailer was towards the end, where Dushane said, "You know what I'm about, I'm loyal." This is most probably Dushane justifying why he's sticking alongside Sully despite what he did to Jamie. This was intercut with a photo that Shelley's daughter had drawn of herself, Shelley, and Dushane all together as one family. But maybe this will get thrown into question if Dushane continues to act the way that he does, as Shelley may not want the danger to continue to be present in her life. There was also a shot of Kieran being taken out of his home by the police. There was then a shot of Jax feeding what I imagine is Lauren's child. One interesting thing about this shot though was the fact that it was shot on film and not digitally, so I do wonder what that's going to symbolize. Some shows are starting to throw in an episode that's shot on film in their seasons, whether it be a flashback or a more calmer tone, so maybe Top Boy is going to be doing that in this season. I hope they do, because it's so nice on the eye. The final few shots that we had was of Lauren looking concerned. With what happened to Curtis at the end of the previous season, it does make me wonder if his family are going to go after her. We know his sister loved him deeply and was almost jealous of Lauren, so she may want to seek revenge or get a hold of their child considering it's part of Curtis's family. Then we had a shot of Stefan looking like he was upset and lonely. Judging by the background, it very much feels like it could be on the bench that he used to sit on with Jamie and Aaron when they talked to their parents. But now, with him potentially being on his own, considering that Aaron wasn't in the trailer at all, he's going to have that lonely feeling embedded within him. Then there was a shot of Jamie and Sully in a bathroom looking like they were about to face off against each other. It feels very similar to what happened in the CAF a couple of seasons back, so it'll be interesting to see if there is going to be a divide that will come between them in this final season. Dushane wanted to get out, remember? Jamie was his retirement plan, so maybe Dushane still does. The penultimate shot was of the police up against the residents in what looked like a standoff, so there's definitely going to be some conflict between the police and the citizens of Summer House in this next season of the show. Then the final shot in the trailer was exactly how it began, Dushane looking out, but this time it was a side profile. Sully was uttering the words, "I know what road you're on, and it don't end good." So it's definitely going to be an impactful season where there's division between the police and the public, division in the Summer House crew, and also amongst Dushane and Sully. I'm gutted that it's going to be coming to an end, because like what the trailer says, there's no other show like it that's out there, but I'm happy that we get to see the end of this story, rather than it just being cancelled. Bring on September the 7th. So, there you have it, Top Boy Season 5 trailer explained. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. How do you think the show will end? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.